Let me tell you what I learned about NFTs and crypto media over several hundred hours of my own personal research. In this video, we're going to talk about NFT marketplaces in particular. In the last video, we talked about what crypto media actually is. It's a media file that's stored on the blockchain. And now in this video, we're going to make things more concrete, and let's talk about some popular NFT artists, and then also how do you get an NFT? And then we're going to get into one of the major Web3 product categories, which is an NFT marketplace. So if I own an NFT, I can list that NFT on a marketplace, and somebody can come in and either buy it now or bid for it. And it's very similar to eBay, but it's how NFTs change hands. And it's a major product category that you should be aware of as a product designer in Web3. So let's start with the first initial use case for crypto media, what it is probably most well known for. And if you've heard of NFTs before, you'll understand this. It's digital art, and especially visual digital art. So if we look at some of the most popular artists, we've got Pac. He has really come out with very interesting NFT projects, and he's been paid to do so. His total artwork value is over $319 million. Beeple is, going back to the previous video, he sold the single most expensive crypto media itself, a $69 million collage of 14 years worth of his work. So he's just more of like a digital artist veteran. He's got already like a big cult following, and there's like historical significance to Beeple. And then we got others. This is a guy named Snowfro, but this is a generative art collection called Chromie Squiggle, which I'm going to get into in later videos in this series. Xcopy creates some weird stuff like this, right? Tyler X Hobbs, another generative artist. So there's a lot of stuff. I actually really like this Mad Dog Jones one right here. He creates like these like dystopian landscapes that are animated. It's really cool. So I recommend checking out all this stuff. Now, crypto media could be anything though. So I've shown you some video files and some images. It could also be 3D models like we have right here. This is a crypto media file that you can buy. It's currently selling for 1.65 ETH. But it's you can zoom in, zoom out, and it's actually a 3D file. And you can represent things like music or music albums as NFTs. We're going to get into more of that in another video. It's very important right now. Internet memes, famous internet memes have become NFTs, right? Yay. Charlie bit my finger. It's like they claim it's the most viewed YouTube video, even though when I look at the views, it doesn't seem like it, but I don't know. But anyway, that somebody, like I think the person who originally uploaded that video minted it as an NFT, and it sold for like several $1 million. So this is all to say that, okay, and going back to another example, there's a guy named Tim Berners-Lee who wrote some of the original source code for the internet, like I think HTTP and stuff like that. And so those are like text files. And so he sold like a certificate and then like some, maybe some of those text files together, bundled something together as an NFT, right? So NFTs can represent all sorts of different things, and really they're allowing us to make digital files scarce. And so that you can say that this person owns that. Now you can say this person owns the Charlie Bit My Finger NFT. And it's like the first one that ever was created. And so it has authenticity. We can see who owns it. We can see who created it. And therefore it has value. Because the Charlie Bit My Finger, it's like a big piece of internet history. And NFTs and crypto media is just a technology that has come in and allowed us to mint that piece of internet history so that now it's ownable and sellable. And this is kind of why NFTs are cool. Something that I really like are these, it's like a video animation plus a background sound. This is by an artist named Fuck Render, I believe. And then there's also Grimes has done some interesting stuff here. We've got little baby nymphs flying around, and we've got some of her music in the background. Yeah, so I think that these are just interesting. But anyway, crypto media, it could be used to represent any sort of media file. So now let's get on to one of the most popular Web3 product categories. These are NFTs. I'm an owner of an NFT. I can list my NFT on one of these sites, and then others can come in and bid and purchase these NFTs. And then there's a decentralized back end, something called a smart contract that actually facilitates that trade. So I receive Ether, and then that person who paid the Ether gets my NFT. This is how these transactions can be done in a trustless way, and it's what makes it Web3, what puts in that Web3 category. So there are two types of NFT marketplaces overall. There's probably three, but let's talk about it. So there's a curated marketplace. So these are things like Nifty Gateway. We've got Nifty Gateway right here. Super Rare is another one. Foundation and Known Origin. But let's just focus on Nifty Gateway for a second. These are curated, and so basically they vet the artists who can come in and list their artwork on here. It's so that they can make this art more higher quality. They vet for quality, and it's like not just like any person can come in and mint an NFT and try to sell it like on some other platforms I'm going to get to. But it's vetting for quality, and they're trying to curate collections. And so they're going to be more expensive, but maybe they're more likely to resell rather than just some random person like me opening up Microsoft Paint, writing some stuff in there, minting it as an NFT and trying to sell it. They are working with upscale artists. And typically how it works is they have an NFT drop or a release. So the artist has created their media, they mint them as NFTs, and then they have a countdown on the platform. So the next release is 3 hours and 48 minutes for this artist, and then this is the collection name. And it's available for people to purchase in 3 hours and 47 minutes from now. And so that these are $2,222 each. There's 20 of 20 remaining. But what happens when these things launch is that people come in very quickly to purchase these things up. So, and then once they're all purchased up, because NFTs make these things scarce, there's never going to be any more of this collection. That is what makes it valuable. That's what drives the demand towards this. People want to come in and get one of these limited edition items that could potentially resell for more in the future. Or other people just want to be able to own it, and they want that experience of art ownership. But then there's also another user group who flips NFTs for profit. So those are two types of user groups. Anyway, this is a curated marketplace. And again, I went through some of these up here. The most popular and type of marketplace and what has the most transaction volume are secondary marketplaces. So this is something like OpenSea, Rarible, Zoro Protocol, which I'll get to in a second. This is where if an NFT has already been released, or anyone can come in and mint their own NFT and start selling it on here, then this is where secondary sales start to happen, where there is an initial release of it and now somebody owns it. And if one of these people, like I get this, right, I get NYS3, and then I want to resell it to somebody else, then I'd come over to something like OpenSea and then post that NFT on there, and then other people can start bidding on my NFT. So now these are all NFTs, and we can see the offers that people are putting on it. They're willing to spend this much ETH. Here's some interesting attributes about Hashmask. This is actually part of something called a PFP, or a profile picture collection. We're going to talk about that in the next video. It's a specific kind of NFT or crypto media. And then we can also see the transfer and ownership history right here. So right now we're looking into the market data for this NFT. What are all the outstanding offers currently on it? I think it's being auctioned. No, it's a buy it now. So it's a buy it now, but these people are auctioning to try to get a lower price than the buy it now. So it works exactly like eBay. And this is how secondary marketplaces work. So this brings us to the next product category, which is NFT aggregators. And this just lets us view all the NFTs across all the different marketplaces. So it aggregates everything into one UI, and it's kind of like a utility app for end users. But and another thing it lets you do is it lets you purchase multiple NFTs at once. Whereas on OpenSea, I would have to be bidding on each NFT individually and win each NFT individually. On here, I can purchase however many I want, and the NFT aggregator assembles everything needed to happen on the back end, right? So you can actually see right here in this tab, this was listed on OpenSea. I'm not sure what this symbol is. Maybe we see this is super rare, I know. But yeah, you can see how it's aggregating NFTs across several marketplaces. And so Genie is an example of that. And then also Gem is another example of an NFT aggregator. So last but not least, we get to Zoro Protocol. Again, we're talking about NFT marketplace technologies. And I was really impressed. Zoro Protocol was the project that stuck out to me most out of all my research that I did around NFTs. What they're doing is they're creating a new standard of NFT that builds the marketplace into each individual NFT. So rather than have an NFT and have to list it on something like OpenSea that maintains its order book in a closed way, when you mint an NFT with Zoro, if I mint an NFT here, it builds a marketplace into that NFT so that I don't have to list the NFT on any marketplace. Anybody can, at any time, make offers on the NFT. They can, and what this is doing is it's putting the order book onto the blockchain. The order book isn't on a server in a centralized company like OpenSea. All of the bids and all of the asks from the seller are on chain. I'm most interested in minting my NFTs on Zoro Protocol, using Zoro Protocol, because of this open source nature. This is really aligned with the ethos of Web3, and the centralized components of curated marketplaces and OpenSea are highly criticized by people in Web3. So I just think that this opens up the liquidity for NFTs if it's completely open source, and then developers can come in and build custom marketplaces. They can feature specific Zoro Protocol NFTs on their marketplace front end, and they can get curation fees if any of those NFTs sell through their front end. So it's a completely open ecosystem what Zoro is building, and I'm extremely excited about this project. And clicking into one of the NFTs on Zoro Protocol, like I said before, cryptomedia has metadata that everybody can view. We can see who minted the NFT. We can see all of the ownership history of the NFT. This is establishing the provenance of this piece of cryptomedia. It was minted by this, and now it was owned by this, and then transferred back, and so on and so forth. And this person set an asking price on the NFT. All of this is being stored on chain. And when it's stored on chain, it means that it's publicly accessible and that developers can come in and build applications on top of this open data rather than having to rely on the APIs of centralized companies that might eventually close, and that OpenSea has already closed their order book. Earlier in the video, I said that there were arguably three types of NFT marketplaces. I talked about curated and secondary marketplaces. The third type, I would argue, are specialty NFT marketplaces. So Glass Protocol, this is specifically for video. Catalog and Sound are for music NFTs. Sloika specializes in photography. And then Async Art Blocks, and then Archipelago specialize in generative art NFTs.